Hey guys, Everett Dudgeon 138 here. Finally it's happening. I got a brand new camera, thanks to my father, and I'm going to be putting a lot more content on my channel as opposed to just my music with typed words on the screen. So I'm going to be talking today about my brand new Dave Smith Instruments Sequential Prophet X. This is really special for me, and I'm not going to go too in-depth with all the parameters and everything like that because I think Nick Batt at Sonic State really did a great review on the Prophet X, and you can check out a lot of the demos from Pure Ambient Drone who goes through all the presets and everything. But I feel that a lot of the online demos of this synth, and even the demonstrations at music convention centers, have really done a disservice to it. A lot of people don't really know what to make of it. I see, so what? It's a Rompler, so I have a workstation, or there's not enough polyphony for a piano. This is none of those things. If you're looking for a stage piano, go get yourself like a Nord Stage or a Kawai MP11. If you're looking for a workstation, you can go get like a Kurzweil Forte. What this is it's a synthesizer with a knob per function interface, and so it's very familiar with a composer like myself who works with analog equipment. And it's taking really high quality, VST quality samples by Dio, whose catalog speaks for itself. And it's allowing you to manipulate them in real time and modify them and play them expressively with a knob per function interface, and you really feel like playing an actual instrument. I'm not saying like workstations aren't instruments, but I found when I was working with the Kurzweil, I was spending more time programming and less time composing. And when I had a song idea in mind, it would take a long time for me to just punch it in a sequence. And with this, it does have two onboard polyphonic sequencers, but it's so easy to use. And because I'm recording to a DAW now, as opposed to just recording to like a hardware recorder, it's allowing me to get all these articulations and real-time expressiveness within my DAW, and of course I can sing it to the DAW and everything like that. And this has become my go-to for pianos, organs, clavinets, choirs, brass, and all the Korg Kronos is collecting dust right now, and I'm not really too thrilled about the FA-08 anymore because of this. This has really been everything I wanted it to be. For a long while I was focusing more on analog synthesis sounds. On my SoundCloud channel, I had Moogs and Prophet 6s and Tempests and everything like that, but I was missing that Les Baxter or Ronald Stein type composition, or Bernard Herrmann, or even some of the Italian composers from the 70s like Ennio Morricone or Stelvio Cipriani. And this has allowed me to compose like that so fast, as opposed to punching in MIDI parameters and trying to figure out a multi-track sequencer. It's all on board right here, and it's really been eye-opening for me. A neat trick I discovered using frequency modulation synthesis is when you take, say, oscillator 1 for example, and use it to frequency modulate a sampled brass sample or a wind instrument sample, and just put the modulation amount to, say, 6-ish, and it can really emulate it sort of sounds like somebody's blowing really hard into a saxophone or blowing really hard into a wind instrument. So you kind of get that flutter tongue effect, or rips and growls that would take a long time to program with something like Kurzweil's Vast. But here, especially being able to use the onboard sliders and modulation wheel, I feel like I'm actually articulating the instrument myself, as opposed to numbers and everything like that. It's all underneath my fingertips. and I feel like I'm really interacting with the instrument. I can decrease the attack. I can put the filter cutoff, do like a filter sweep on like a brass instrument. It sort of gives an emulation of like a brass swell. Now, we can't really talk about sampling synthesizers without mentioning the Fairlight, Emulator, and Sonic Mirage, or even Dave's own Prophet 2000. Now, this, of course, surpasses all those in terms of sonic quality, but you can degrade the quality of the samples and actually start to emulate those lo-fi Fairlight pianos and Sararr samples and whatnot. One thing I love using is the onboard sequencer. It's perfect for songwriting. If you just want to have like a riff constantly play while you play the lead over top. Sequence run and bring in and out different instruments using the sliders as kind of mute and solo buttons. And it's great when you want to sync it up to a DAW. If you just need like a fast string run or anything like that, you can easily program it in, punch it in your DAW, and you're all set. What the Prophet X has given me is the ability to get these song ideas out really quickly. So if I need like a lo-fi Fairlight sample, or like sweeping strings, or even just like a Black Christmas type stinger where like you take like a fork and scrape it across piano strings. You have that as well. And I can do everything on the fly. It's all here underneath my fingertips, and I'm not straining my computer's processing power with copious VSTs. It's all right here on board. User sampling going to be implemented in the future, and with new sound packs by Ennio just around the corner, I mean, the sky's the limit for the Prophet X. And it's kind of, I have a personal connection with it for a couple reasons. As you know, I've lost my job recently, and right after that happened, my father took me to Long McQuaid, and he put a down payment on this thing. I'm very, very thankful and very grateful for having such wonderful parents and just a support network. I know a lot of people don't have that, so I feel very blessed. And another thing is, on the DSI forum, there is kind of a prediction thread with, like, it's called the next new DSI instrument. So everyone kind of puts their 2 cents in what they think the next instrument Dave Smith is going to come out with. And I wrote that they should bring back the sequential name, they should do something with sampling, and they should probably call it the Prophet X. So, not saying I thought of the whole thing, but, you know, I think that's probably why I have a personal connection with it. So if you like this video, please subscribe, hit the bell, because I'm going to be doing a lot more videos and probably a little bit more demonstrations on how you get the certain modulations on sampled instruments, and maybe some music performances or something with the Prophet X. But thanks so much for watching, and see you guys later.